Hello there, and welcome to Mountain Blade 2 Bannerlord. Again! Yay! This has got to be the most requested series I've ever had, and I'm really excited to get started on it. So, this time we're back for another challenge run, but instead of running around and bonking bandits on the back of the head, we're going to be bonking bandits on the back of the head with our bootylicious bows of our bows. That's right, we are doing the Archers Only Challenge, and also, try saying that fast 5 times, or 30 times if you're me, which is how many times I've tried to record this introduction. Now, I'm not a complete masochist, so I am including crossbowmen and mounted archers in the Archers Only category. The win condition for this run is going to be to capture a major settlement and then try and hold it for at least a year. If the series is doing well at that point, we'll continue it, so you guys need to let me know each episode how much you're loving it, or hating it for that matter, so please feel free to abuse those like and dislike buttons. I do actually still see the dislikes, believe it or not, and of course subscribe if you want to know where the series is going. I will be accepting names for my companions, but channel members get first priority, so if you'd like to make it onto the top tier of the list, please consider becoming a channel member today. It's available now, and it's fairly inexpensive, I think. Anyway, with that said, we are going to hop straight into a brand new Bannerlord campaign. Are ya hyped yet?
For 500 years, the Calradian Empire dominated the continent. Its armies scattered foes before them. The strongholds of proud tribes crumbled beneath its engines of war. From the forests of the north to the wastes of the south, all was brought beneath the standard of their legions. Brutal as the conquest was, the wise agreed that it brought peace. The land, now untroubled by armies, grew rich, but empires, like men, grow old. Leaders lose a common cause. Corruption spreads.
Woo! Yeah, baby! That's what I've been waiting for. That's what it's all about. Woo!
Until one day, the bonds holding the Empire snap. Then comes the Civil War, pitting all against all. A time of hatred. A time of suffering. But also, even in the worst hours, a time of courage and defiance. As new leaders arise, from new places and new peoples, to turn back the tides of destruction and bring forth a new world from the ashes of the old.
For this challenge, we're going to be playing as Botanians, simply because they get a benefit to movement speeds in forests, which is, to be perfectly honest, where we're going to be spending a lot of our early game time anyway, and this should just speed up the initial grind up to faction level 1. Our protagonist for this run is going to be the mighty Elijah Wood over here, standing at an imposing 0 height, 0 weight, and 0 build. He is going to stay very far away from any fights, and instead shoot his enemies down with a hail of arrows. At least that's the plan. He's also extra compact, making him that much harder to hit. Damn right, he is gonna slay his way through this world. Now, I've already gone ahead and picked out his family member tree. He is going to be born to some foresters. He is going to be spending a whole lot of time with people, because we need their charm skill, that's right, and leadership, both very, very helpful. He's going to be hunting small game for a little bit of bow. He is going to be riding with the scouts for a little bit of riding and endurance skill. That's going to be really helpful, as staying mounted and moving is kind of the only way we're going to stay alive. His young adulthood is pretty incredible. He hunted a dangerous animal. That's right, a small mouse wandered into the barn one day, and he used a crossbow to take it out. A brave man, to be sure. His randomly generated brother, which unfortunately looks very unlike Samwise Gamgee, Gamgee, sorry, decided to ride off from battle on a fast horse, again giving us another point in riding and endurance. As for our settings, these is what they're going to be. You can go ahead and copy them if you'd like to play along with me, but I mean, really, this is up to you. Most of the stuff I'm leaving on easy is just because that's kind of annoying to have it on the full thing. We're not playing Iron Man because this is a series, but normally I would. With our family named Wood and our banners set, Elijah of the White Tree has set off once more into the world to adhere to the 4 M's of gaming. That's right, boys. No mods, no melee, no mercy, and no maidens. We're gonna be hunting down some baddies and making a name for ourselves. Now, the goal of this episode is going to be to get as close to Clan Tier 1 as we can. I only have about an hour to record, so I don't think we'll make it the whole way, but we could do some good work in that regard. We're going to head up north right away, dodging the 24 looters on our path, because we can't actually recruit anyone from these settlements, and I'll show you why right over here. If we head over to Sestadime, for example, and we want to recruit troops... Well, okay, there's no one here, but normally they'll only be Imperial recruits or potentially Imperial nobles. And those aren't very helpful for us because they are both melee troops. There you go, the Viglers, that's what they're called. We can't use them. We have to have only archers from the start, and that of course means we need to recruit archers from the start. And where better to go but the land of archery itself, Botania. So we're going to head over west real quick, and I'll see you once we're in the woods. En route to the north, we came across our first band of looters, or rather, I was looking at my phone and kinda just walked directly into these guys. We're gonna take them on though. 9 of them versus 1 of us should be doable. I don't know if we're gonna have enough arrows to do this though, so we might have to retreat about halfway through. That's it's completely viable. Once the arrows run out, we can just retreat and reset, and we should have a full loadout again. Oh, this is of course our first fight, so we get the tutorial, and here are our baddies. Now, we are going to get quite a bit of XP just in the early game by farming these dudes, and take quite a bit of damage, it looks like, from their deadly rocks. My god, these men are snipers. Okay, stay nice and bunched up for me, because I can't aim yet. This is fantastic. Once we get the first riding perk, which... it actually might be an archery perk, which... Oh, I missed one there, that's not good. Which, it gives you a 30% reduction to the aim debuff when moving. That's super powerful for mounted archery, because it basically means that reticle is 30% smaller while riding. Alright, unfortunately, with just 3 of them left on the battlefield, we are going to have to retreat. We ran out of arrows, and that means we're going to need to take this fight on again. Now, we could try and get off and pick some of the arrows up, but I'm a little worried with the mounting mechanics in this game that they'll catch up to me before I can actually do that. Also, I must say, the new battlefield mechanics, where it like spawns you in an in-game map based on your real-world location, is unbelievably cool. And this has been missing from the game for a long time, I think. It's super cool to have. Alright, having retreated and now resetting, we're going to go ahead and attack them once more. It should be noted we are now down to 50% health, but as you will see once we load into the battle, we are going to have a fully restocked quiver. At least we should. I haven't actually tested this, and I'm now realizing this blunt run might be a little harder if I'm wrong. Nope, there it is. We have all 27. Of course, we do lose the loot of the 6 looters we killed prior to this, which really sucks. But you know what? It is what it is, right? We're gonna have to just work it out. Anyway, I'm getting quite a bit better IRL at shooting these things, and we've already made it up to riding 28 and bow 30 in just literally one fight. Kinda crazy. It should also be noticed that our horse actually gets back to full health. Just simply by retreating, which I didn't realize was a mechanic, and I now realize is like super exploitable. This is of course only possible if you don't have soldiers. If you've got men, they actually have to leave the map, which is a little more dangerous. Ow! But of course, you know, when it's just us, we can just hit tab and retreat at any time to reset the account. Also, it looks like looters do actually run out of stones now, which I didn't know was a thing before. And that's going to be kind of crazy. Maybe we should just sort of let them tire themselves out before we get too close. That might be a strategy. Oh, nice. Finishing off with a headshot. Beautiful. Fighting outnumbered, of course, nets you a huge buff to renown gain, so we're going to try and do that as much as possible. Being ranged really gives us the opportunity to kind of pick them off at a distance in ways like we just can't really do otherwise. Okay, what did we loot, though? That's what I really care about. Hell yeah. bunch of stuff. We are going to need some more men, though, because we can't carry all this. However, more men were definitely not far away, as literally the first Battanian village we visit has 9 Battanian highborn youths for us to recruit. These guys may seem a little overpriced, a little garbage. You'd be wrong. They train up into the best unit in this game. So as you can see, they currently have a two-handed skill of 40 and a bow skill of 60. Keep those numbers in mind. At Battanian Fian, which is their 4th tier, right, of unit, has a two-handed skill of 130 and a bow of 160. The Fian Champion has 220 two-handed and a bow of 260. That is 100 more on both counts, 110 for the two-handed. That two-handed skill is also one of the best in the game, which is kind of insane, making these guys some of the best units all round. Not only are they deadly accurate with their bows, but they are also unbelievably good at hitting people with long swords. They also have a high athletic skill, which gives them extra bit of health and makes them very, very viable in melee combat. We're going to want a lot of Fian champions. All that said, though, Elijah has actually made up his first level, which we're going to go ahead and cash in now. This is the strat I was talking about, bow control. It increases our accuracy decreases the accuracy lost due to movement by 30%, and our troops actually gain 5% more damage with their bows, which is pretty crazy. We're going to grab a point in Steward because we need to increase our party size as fast as possible, and we are indeed going to grab a maneuvering buff so that we can position our horse a bit more accurately. Now, I think it's also a good idea for us to put a single point into, I was going to say throwing, but I think that might be a bit of a cop-out. Let's stick with riding for now. Alternatively, we could throw another point into Steward and just really get that XP buff nice and high from the get-go. This skill takes a while to train anyway. Making our way up to one of the major Battanian cities, we're going to go ahead and sell off all of the crud we've collected just to give ourselves a couple of extra days. We're also going to sell off this Norse hatchet as we can't use it, and we're going to instead try and find a couple more arrows. And as you can see, these all do 0 damage. This isn't great. We're not going for prisoners this time around. We kind of want to make as much, make each arrow count for as much as possible. And I'm thinking realistically, we come back and we get ourselves some barbed arrows once we can afford them. 3 stacks of these would be kind of crazy. That would give us 60 arrows total, and they all do 1 piercing damage, giving us a bit of an armor pierce buff. Range arrows would be even better, of course, because they have a higher stack limit, but they cost almost twice as much. Alright, we're going to go ahead and talk to Ergion before we do anything else, though, and anything else meaning fight in that tournament in town, because we need to find out what Ner'zhutez's folly was. And he tells us that it's just the Battle of Pendrake. He is currently the king of the Battanians, and so he has given us a little bit of insight. I'm not going to read through it because anyone who's played Bannerlord will have heard of that questline. It's not really a questline so much as it is a text dialogue box with a few frills attached. It's very bare bones and definitely just a placeholder. A little bit of looting later, and not a single prisoner was taken, by the way. This is actually pretty good. That's quite a bit of money. We're going to kind of just keep running around this area for a little bit. I won't bore you guys with the details, shooting up looters and collecting men. Once we're up to about 3,000 dinars in value, I'll cut back and we're going to get on with the real part of this playthrough. Bringing you guys back briefly for one of the larger fights we've managed to find ourselves in, we have 17 looters, and just on the horizon I actually noticed that Deathert has been besieging a Sturgeon castle. He's the Vlandian king, and we can talk to him about Ner'zhutez's folly. Also, I have a few plans for what we're going to do with the Kingdom of Sturgia in this playthrough, but I don't really want to go through with them until we've spoken to their king. Some of you veteran gamers might know exactly what I'm planning, and for the rest of you, you'll just have to stick around and find out. Now, a really useful command I found for our archers is the Advance command. If you're not willing to sort of like manually place them in an advantageous position, Advance is pretty damn good, especially when your enemy only has melee troops. As what will happen is the archers will move forward until the point where they're in range, and then immediately start backing off. And this means that they can kind of continually kite the enemy, which is really, really powerful. But if they get into melee for whatever reason, they won't just keep moving like they do with the move command. They will actually turn around and fight. So as you can see, my men are kind of caught in a bit of a loop right now. So the solution is to tell them to move, and some of them will begin to turn around and fire. At least I thought they would. Turns out I'm completely wrong about how this game works. Who would have thought? Archers? I don't want... Oh, not charge. Advance. You know what? Charge in. Screw it. Let's fight this. We haven't lost anyone yet. It's about damn time. And they're pretty competent swordsmen, so we should be fine. Yeah, look at that. Perfect. I think we lost a single fighter there. Yeah, we did. A single highborn youth. They are very replaceable, so that's fine with me. Now, as you can see, our highborn youths have finally reached max level, and the entire stack shares experience, so it's much more efficient to level everybody up in one go than it is to level them up piece by piece, because if one dude gets 17 kills, the entire stack shares that experience, rather than, you know, doing it bit by bit, as a lot of people I see do. Anyway, we're going to go ahead and pay that hefty sum to get the much better troops. They have almost double the range and much better athletics, so they can actually move out the way. Part of the problem we had there was that we just couldn't maneuver. Okay, Deathit, come and talk to me, buddy. What have you got to say about this Nezertes fella? Tell me something about that Battle of Pendrake. There we go. If you really want to read that, I suggest getting Bannerlord for yourself. Picking up another highborn youth, we now complete our complement once again. Now, what I'm going to do is head over to Sturgia, and we're going to do our best to find the Sturgeon King. It's kind of important that we speak... Oh my god, he's right there. What are the odds? Okay, Oleg, don't die before I get to talk to you. Who are you, sir? You are Kazakh Oleg. Okay, tell me about the Battle of Pendrake. He'll do just that. Voila, 3 out of 8 pieces of the banner are now ours. Okay, anyway, we can now actually go ahead and do what I was hoping to do with Sturgia. They're distracted by this war with Vlandia, which means that we have a distinct opportunity to go and bully some of their villagers. This is, of course, going to give us criminal rating in the Kingdom of Sturgia, but I don't really care much for the Kingdom of Sturgia. So we're going to... I don't care. Batania is where it's at. I'm a Batanian boy, for sure. Escorting a merchant caravan would be kind of cool, but I think for now, we're just going to make a bit more money and keep moving. Okay, we just picked up one of my favorite quests in Bannerlord, which is the Extortion by Deserters quest, as this gives you a fairly rare opportunity to pick up a few soldiers, like real soldiers. So we have some forest bandits here, and if we hold Alt, we can see their troop composition. 16 Batanian volunteers, 8 clan warriors, and 4 trained warriors. I think our band of 20 archers can take that on, with the militia helping us out. Okay, let's go ahead and attack. Oh, the village militia's been eliminated. That's no good. Alright, well I think we can still win this fight anyway if we position ourselves carefully. Now, because we have 20 men, we should get a deployment screen? Oh no, that's when you're above 20 men. Okay, cool. So we actually need to make sure that we make as much use of range as possible on this map. I think that means pulling back into this area here for the moment, and then we might actually filter around to the right here, get up into these marshes. We want as few obstacles between us and the oncoming enemy as possible, and this seems to kind of be the best spot for that. It's really not ideal, but this gives us a little bit of time to shoot at them before we actually have to fight. Our boys here do in fact have a fairly decent two-handed skill, so I don't think we'll be in too much trouble if we need to get into an actual fight. Okay, the enemy is closing in. They have just come over the horizon. I'm going to start shooting some arrows towards them, and that went a little high, I notice. Okay, let's go a bit lower this time. Too low, but this next one should certainly hit. It did. 21 taken out a Batanian volunteer right off the bat. He must have been damaged already. Another 20 damage coming through. Unfortunately, we are going to deal with a little bit of shielding, I'm noticing. That must be coming from the Batanian soldiers. Oh, okay, I don't like the look of that guy. He had an axe. Yeah, that was scary. Oh, he's a volunteer. Okay, well, we should definitely be focusing more on the shielded soldiers, as they're the ones that actually threaten our archers here. Yeah, shields are like a hard counter to our troops. Okay, my men will now get into combat, and I think we're still going to win this. We might lose a couple of highborn warriors, but nope, literally just one so far. Man, Batanian highborns are just so ridiculously overpowered. This is going to be a cool series, I think. Alright, we managed to pretty much nuke their entire army and gain 2 real soldiers from that. Unfortunately, neither of them were ranged troops, so can't actually use them. But you know what? That's some good tavern money right there. And we get loot. Plenty of gorgeous loot. Let's go back to the town and collect our reward. 900 dinars is going to be perfect. We could, of course, get a bit more sort of friendship with him. But you know what? We can get access to the archers without it, so we don't really need to worry too much about reputation. We're in it for the money, let's be honest here. This game just keeps on giving. We now have Gyarios' army approaching, and of course Gyarios is the faction leader for the Northern Empire, I believe. He's going to give us the next piece of the puzzle. Thank you very much. Nezertes' Folly is getting ever closer to completion, but I think let's go after some slightly larger enemies this time. These mountain bandits actually have a cavalry unit in their midst, which is kind of crazy. I haven't had to fight anyone as fast as me yet. This guy is kind of the only real threat to my my speed, and so we should deal with him as quickly as possible. 23 damage to the leg there. Oh, there we go. 54 damage to the head, but he's got a decent helmet on. That one went wide, unfortunately. Oh, where are you? Where are you? Come to me. Don't you dare disrupt my archers, Hillman. You hear me? You stay away from them now. Okay, my riding is far too slow to deal with this, but we are absolutely shredding the mountain bandit ranks here. Even the ones with the shields aren't going to last much longer. We will shatter that shield into 1,000 little pieces of particle board before he knows what's going on. Oh shit, I just killed one of my warriors. Oh, and I just took a javelin to the knee. Okay. Mountain bandits apparently are a bit more threatening to me personally, and because of me personally, than I thought. Sorry, Highborn Warrior, that one hurt. Oh, Canadog's here. Isn't he the Botanian King? Didn't I do this already? Oh, I guess I didn't. There we go. Nerzetese's Folly complete, at least for the Botanian side. I almost missed that. Oh, we can actually go ahead and pick up 2 Highborn Warriors straight off the bat. Don't mind if I do. As you can see, collecting archers from the Botanians is never going to be a problem. Deciding to stop over in Legetta for a little bit, we're going to sell off all of the stuff we've collected off those mountain bandits and looters, and sell off all the weapons. Now, I know I can make more money by smelting these down at the smithy, but we did that in the previous run. We kind of cheesed 1 billion dinars, and I don't think that's all that interesting to watch, to be honest, so we're not going to do it this time. I am, however, going to invest in some new arrows. I think lowland arrows are going to be where we want to be. There we go. Giving us a nice stack of, what is that, 2 piercing damage? Stacked amount 25? Don't mind if I do. Now, chat, you're going to have to let me know in the comments below. YouTube. Sorry, not chat. I'm not on Twitch. I know that. We're going to have to please let me know if any of this actually affect, like if I have these equipped and I put on the smaller arrows, will it use the better ones first? Is there an order to it? Is it like an average of damage? How does it actually function? It would be really interesting to find out. Through a little bit of fighting, we've actually managed to level our steward up enough that we now have over 20 troops. 20 men and 1 of me, and I actually have space for 2 more. So we're going to go ahead and assign me as the leader of this one. It's going to complain that the commander is mounted, but don't worry about that. And that's so that the buff applies. There you go, the mounted troops in your formation gain plus 30 riding skill. That's a little useless. Why is the archery buff not applying? That's a little odd. Surely our, how about up now? No? Okay, maybe the archery buff isn't actually functional in the game. Anyway, my my foot soldiers are now going to get a nice buff to their riding skill. I'm sure all of them are very excited to get on a horse as soon as we have one.
This is where I put it.
Horse.
If I had one!
Elijah actually gained a level from that little fight, so we're going to go ahead and spend some of his new focus points. I think a really good one to put another level into will be bow. Obviously, this is going to make up the bulk of our playthrough, so spending them here is never a bad idea. We're also going to go ahead and throw another point into leadership. Now, this is a tough one to level, but early on, you need to get as much XP as possible, because if you can get, I believe it's this one, combat tips, yeah, plus 2 XP per day to all troops in the party, this makes managing larger armies infinitely easier. And we're going to really be doing a lot of that later game, so it's good to sort of build the framework out now, you know, get that groundwork done. So obviously being a mounted commander isn't particularly helpful for our men, so maybe it's time we took a step out the saddle and live life on their end of things. Be interesting to see how this goes. I'll take up a flank over here, and we'll try and join our men in battle. Now remember, I don't have a melee weapon, so if we get caught out, we are screwed. My men are allowed to fight in melee because I can't stop them, but we're definitely going to do our best to... Maybe I'll save my arrows, right? Let them get a bit closer first. I think that's the strat here. Maybe it's time that we played a little bit on foot, though. Get our athletics up, get the trust of our men a little higher, too. Looks like we've won this fight before it even started. Fantastic. Well done, boys. We beat him. Oh, looks like there's one left and he's stuck in a tree. And he's no longer stuck in anything. The tree's now stuck in him. Many small trees. 3.2 renown. That's the same as winning a tournament. That's really good. We need to find some more of these big groups. Okay, but that did give me an idea. Let me dismount for the next fight and see if that improves our odds at all. I actually don't know. It's going to slash our move speed, as you can see. Oh, 4.9 down from 5.4. That's quite a serious drop, but we're going to do our best to win these. I'm just really interested to see what it'll do for our troop bonus. Will it now apply? Does being mounted only apply mounted boosts? That's kind of a stupid system if it is. We'll have a look in a second. Let's find out about this. I'm interested. So now, no, we still don't apply the archery buff when we really should. It's one of the bonuses we have. Maybe it just isn't in the game. Someone in the comments, please let me know, because I'm still fairly new to the Bannerlord scene. I don't know what's in and what isn't. The game's still in beta after all. Anyway, another night fight here. I'm not going to subject you to it, but it kind of goes something like this. Yeah, there's just a whole lot of that, really. Man, it really sucks to be those dudes, huh? Elijah now has an extra skill point to spend, like an actual attribute point, and I think we're going to throw it into endurance, to be perfectly honest. This is going to be a very important stat for us. We're kind of going for a combat build. We're gonna rely on companions fairly heavily to do our troop movement leading. I want to be in the front lines, or rather, behind the front lines, raining down hell, and we're gonna need as many buffs as possible to make that as viable as possible. Anyway, I'm gonna head over to Ortha, because that's where good old, what's his name, was last seen? Lucan. Yeah, 3 days ago he was seen near Ortha. We're gonna keep heading that way, tracking him down, and sort of make our way through the various lords of the land, and see how many of them we can get to tell us about this battle that happened as we're just like a complete stranger walking up to like the most powerful people on this continent and just being like, hey, yo, what up? My name's Elijah. How about you tell me about this fight you lost, you damn loser? While looking for Gyarios, we've actually stumbled up all the way to Mizea, which is kind of wacky, to be perfectly honest. We want to fight in this arena battle, though, and I need to keep doing these. We'll show the first one, but these can get kind of repetitive, so I'll only show the highlights from others if we do any. I'll let you guys know how it goes. Mostly we're just doing this for the renown, but hey, a little bit of betting money is always fun. My favorite tournaments to do are the Vlandian ones, because you can get the two-handed billhook thing, which is like a really, really, really fun way to just end fights quickly. Okay, we're taking out a legionary. We actually kind of want to pick people who are worse to like progress. So we want to take out Etheria first. There we go. I've also turned off the battle UI. I think it's a bit more interesting to see. Very nice. Although I do kind of need to know what my health is. Does it matter? It doesn't. Let's keep betting. Okay, I only bet twice because the returns after this point are kind of pointless for the amount of money you spend. But, you know, it's okay. Okay, apparently I missed that. Oh, I don't have a shield. I don't have a shield. I really thought I had a shield. I think we're out of here, boys. Oh, no. No, 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 no. Fight each other. Oh, god damn it. Okay, as a bit of a turn of events, we found an Imperial trained archer for recruitment. That's kind of like finding a unicorn. It's going to be so rare that we actually get access to Imperial troops that I'm pretty much always going to take them. They can turn into Imperial Sergeant crossbowmen, which are really, really good archers. They have an insane amount of armor-piercing damage, and they're going to be pretty tough to come by. The Britannian Fian champions, I think, have a similar buff, but they're not quite as good. We're also very close to Clan Tier 1. So I'm going to let this episode run a little bit longer, just so that we can make it up there, but I'm not going to subject you guys to all the looter farming. We've seen quite a lot of that already today. Alright, we've come across another one of my favorite quests in this game, which is the Fight the Poachers one, and I think this will be especially interesting, considering that we are now archers only, right? Because they're archers only 2. This is going to be quite a challenge. We do outnumber them, I think, 2 to 1, so I'm not worried about losing this fight at all. I'm more interested in seeing how many casualties we take when facing a genuinely comparable force. Okay, I am, however, going to turn on, is that an option right there? Re-enable battle UI, thank you. Just for my health. I don't mind not having the reticle. I think it's kind of fun to practice with that, but I do need these on-screen cues just to kind of help me work out what we're doing here. Alright, men, I'm going to ask you to move slightly further up the hill, and you know what? Let's put you in that loose formation, maybe. That's going to be F2 and then F3. Because they get a fairly... I mean, they get the same morale bonus in line formation, I believe. But that gives us a little bit more spread. Yeah, that's kind of cool. We're going to get a much wider flank. The guys on the corner there might hit the posts, but that should be okay. Okay, they are actually slowly approaching, so we're going to wait till they get here. Okay, I know we're in the middle of a battle, but I have been sitting here and staring at whatever the hell this is for a little while. My first instinct was like, oh, that's a saddle. But that's not a saddle. Does anyone in chat, anyone in the comments know what that is? Because I sure as hell don't. Oh, hello. How you doing, friends? Let's put a few holes in you. Oh, these arrows fly fast. I like that. Oh, wow. Okay, yeah, they do a lot more damage than the other ones did. We just need a new bow now. Oh, okay, I'm taking a bit of fire myself, but oh, the aim is on point, though. It looks like you kind of just put the tip of the arrow against the target, and that's a fairly reliable way to get a hit. I think the range we're at now, which, what, probably like 50 meters? I think that's what we're zeroed to use Tarkov terminology. But yes, indeed, we have shredded them and not suffered a single casualty. Archers only is certainly viable, but we'll see how well we do at larger scales. I think it's going to be a very different game. Okay, we've managed to track down Penton, who is one of the leaders we can talk to about... There we go, Nezercheese's Folly, which is kind of great. So Penton's done. We now need to still find Lukon, though. He's somewhere here. I don't know where exactly, though. He's kind of hiding. He was in Hitania a few days ago, but he's not there now. I don't know if it works that you can talk to anyone of the leading family. That might be a thing. I don't know why talking to Penton was allowed there, because by all intents and for all intents and purposes, rather, he shouldn't be the leader. I remember it you have to speak to the leaders. Yeah, you see, he's the son of an old emperor. He's a vassal of the Northern Empire. Maybe you just have to speak to the head of a family? In which case, that streamlines things a lot, because we just kind of need to talk to the Southern Empire now. Where's Regea? She's near Anira. That's all the way down south, over here. Let's go see if we can talk to them. What are the Khuzaits up to? Maybe we can track them down. I just need it. Monchung, where you at? You in Mekeb? Where's Mekeb? Mekeb's like right over here. Let's go see if we can find Monchung in Mekeb. He is the new owner of Epinosa Castle, which he just lost. So maybe he's licking his wounds over here. I do see siege towers. Oh, there he is. Right there. Oh man, we are speedrunning this quest. Okay, Huranag Beg, can you tell me about the Battle of Pendrake? Yes, you can. Thank you kindly, buddy. Alright, let's keep this train rolling. Of course, though, we couldn't leave Mekeb without some goddamn drip. And I'm gonna be coming back for this one, let me tell you. For now, we're gonna settle for the merchant hat. Doesn't he just look adorable? Okay, we found ourselves in yet another deserter fight, this time against mounted troops as well as foot soldiers. This is going to be an interesting challenge for our budding young army. We're gonna move the men up forward, though, I think. And once again, we're going to put them into loose formation. This does make them weaker against cavalry, as they technically can't absorb the sort of critical mass. But, you know, it does provide some very interesting benefits to archery. As you can see, we can hit a much wider berth without any overlapping problems. Okay, the sort of range of horse archers is going to be a bit of a concern in this one, I think. And I'm sorry, guys, but for this one, I'm turning the reticle back on. Stakes are a little too high to be learning new things today, you know? This is an old man stream right now. Okay, take the shot. I keep forgetting we're not actually live. Ignore all the chat and stream comments. I don't know where those are coming from. I think it's just sort of hardwired into me. That's what you do. Okay, shoot this. There we go. Khuzait Raider has dropped. If you guys would like to see this live streamed, I'm happy to do it. But I don't know if it'll be part of this series. It's kind of nice to keep these, you know, as their own little thing. Okay, we're doing pretty well against the enemy at the moment, but that could change very quickly. My Highborn warriors are now getting into melee, which is a little concerning, but they seem to be doing a pretty good job of dealing with the enemy's infantry. In fact, it looks like we've completely decimated that part of their army, and yes, indeed, we are now just dealing with these mounted horsemen. Yeah, it just goes to show, like, mounted troops really do have a massive mobility advantage, but only when the enemy does not have a ranged advantage, which we currently do. I mean, not only are my men better archers, but they are also sort of superior foot soldiers as well. Britanians aren't bad at all. We would be kind of dumb not to pick up some horse archers while we're here, though, as the Khuzaits, I think, are going to be the only source we get, other than bandits, of course. And after quite a serious fight, to be honest, we've actually managed to win that one. We did take a couple of losses, which hurt, but I think we can, you know, well, we did losing the Imperial Crossbowman does kind of suck. But I think we can kind of write that off as maybe a positive in a weird way. Oh, okay, well, we have to apparently let go of, what's that, 1-2 looters to get 1-2 potentially recruitable horse archers? Not even a choice, to be honest. Let's have a little look-see here. As for horses, this is an all-round upgrade. We're going up to the steppe horse, that's for sure. What are we going to go up against here? 2 horse archers, 3 cavalry, 4 horse archers. I think we can handle this, especially with our new contingent. And of course, I'm going to put myself in charge of the horse archers. We'll find a foot archer to deal with to deal with in the future. Okay, I want to add these men. This is my horse archers. And we're going to add... we're going to add me as the commander, as we will at least give them that cavalry bonus. I still don't understand why the archery bonus isn't applying, but you know what? You can't have it all. Alright, horse archers, follow me. No, don't make a shield wall, guys. Follow me. There we go. Alright, and my archers... Actually, my archers, I want you to make the good old circle. There we go. Let's go ahead and get them formed up. Alright, this should be pretty good. The Crusade Nomads are being shredded by their cavalry, and I'm down already. 138 damage to the head. Now we just kind of got to watch this play out. I think we'll still win. I think my men are competent enough both in melee combat and ranged combat to do this. Let's go ahead and we're just going to watch these fights go down. My nomads are being dropped like rocks, but it looks like my foot soldiers are doing an excellent job of dealing with them. Them circling around is a bit dangerous though, of course, because my men are taking fire from both sides. Missed shots and landed shots are going to be hitting here. Ooh, okay, all of my tribal warriors are gone. We can replenish those. We're in Crusade turf. But yeah, maybe they're not as good as the foot soldiers are. I mean, look at this. Look, running into heavy cavalry with shields is going to be a major problem for us. We just don't have enough men. We're going to need, like, at least 50 archers to, like, you know, just eliminate their horses in the first volley. And then you can deal with their shields after that. Because, I mean, one shield takes, what, like 15 arrows to break? Yeah, we're just going to need mass, I think, to win this fight. Not this fight, but, like, this campaign. This guy he's dribbling, my boys, isn't he? Come on, take him out. You've shot his horse 30 times. You shot the man 3 times. Did you hit him? Guys, I've been talking you up, and here you are, you're embarrassing me like this. Okay, my horsemen are doing fairly well, to be perfectly honest here. Don't know why he equipped his spear. That wasn't necessary. It is good to see. It looks like we're taking out the horses before the men for the most part, and I was immediately proved wrong. Don't you just love to see it? Okay, we've lost another Crusade Nomad. I think we lost 3 of the 5 we had there. Oh wait, Crusade Nomad's these guys. Oh, it might be these guys. I'm not sure. We'll find out shortly. Come on, take him down. There we go. And put those last few arrows in him. He's got good armor, so it's no surprise that he's taken a few hits. Well done, boys. Look at that. Okay, we've got a bunch for now. 94% of the loot I will take. And unfortunately, I myself went down, so no XP from that fight. Okay. It was the Noble Son and the Kankli that we've been keeping, I see. Alright, very cool. I will take the Step Bandits for obvious reasons. However, I will relinquish 6 more looters. Okay, I am also going to allow the Highborn Warriors to finally upgrade. This is going to cost us a lot of money, but it's going to make them significantly more combat viable. There we go. We now have Battanian heroes, much better armor, much better stats. And I think selling all this stuff is going to make us our money back. I'm not too worried. However, before selling, we do actually have quite a bit we can equip here. We have a brand new drip that looks pretty good, I think. And we even have some slightly better boots and better braces, just better all round, to be honest. This is quite a nice catch. Oh, now that's swag. Okay, so we just ran into Mongchug, and he is the 3rd Crusade Noble we were able to talk about the main quest line to, which makes me realize that I think they've changed it. You can now just talk to major nobles to find out about the battle. Also, it looks like we've hit Clan Tier 1. Yes, we have. Oh man, that is huge. That was the goal for this episode, and I've just hit an hour of recording. That's gonna be fun to edit down for sure. Oh man, that's kind of big. Okay, well, I really want to finish Nezerti's Folly then today, but we're gonna go through here and recruit as many of these horsemen as we can. Oh, we can now take commissions, can't we? Okay, we need to find somebody fighting a war and get involved. I think we're probably gonna take commission from one of the northern factions, probably the Battanians. We'll pick up a few more horse archers because we won't be getting them again anytime soon, but I'm kind of tempted to head back up home. One very expensive bribe later, and we have entered the keep of Onira, where Regea is currently hanging out. She's going to give us the final piece of the puzzle for Nezerti's Folly, and there we go. We find out that the guy had a bodyguard who's probably still alive, and we need to track these people down and have a little chat with them. Okay, cool. So, that cost us a lot of money, but we're kind of in a good spot. Before we wrap up for today, though, I thought you guys might like to join me for one last perk assignment. That's right. We're going to go ahead and decide on what we're going to do here. We also need a companion in order to get our clan up to the next level. So please leave your name suggestions down below. Channel members get preference, of course, so if you'd like to become a member, now's a good time. And if not, if we run out of names, which I don't think we will on this series, then of course I will turn to the comments and I'll go back and look through them. But we're going to decide what our next perk for bow is going to be. We got to level 59, which is, kind of crazy, actually. So our attacks with bows ignore 10% of the enemy's armor, so more armor pen, basically. And this, of course, applies to the rest of our men. But, I mean, seemingly, this one, it says active, but it doesn't seem to actually work. I don't know what that's about. Or we can get a decrease to the penalty for movement speed by reload. Oh, okay, you know what I mean. We reload 50% faster. Or we move fast 50% faster while reloading. This doesn't affect us as we're going to primarily be a horse archer, but I'm going to go with the bodkin for sure. Now, riding gives us a few more nice ones. This becomes veterinary is quite good, but we're kind of going to avoid falling off our horse. So we're just going to go with well strapped, which means my horse is 20% tougher, and my troops that I command, which will be the horse archers, have 10% more hit points for their horses too. Day Traveler gives us 2% movement speed during daytime, and a Night Traveler gives us 5% during the night. Day Traveler is always the right pick there because you spend most of your time in the day. We're going to have one more focus point we can assign though, and Steward's going to be a tough one to level because our intellect's so low. He's kind of a smooth brain, to be perfectly honest, but I think we're going to throw yet another point into Bow here, bringing us all the way up to, what's that going to be, 150 potential skill? We're going to want that green line all the way over here. This is going to be our primary stat, this will be our secondary one, and then I think a mixture between leadership and steward will make up the rest. Athletics always gets forgotten by me, unfortunately. Sorry, not sorry. Okay, that is, unfortunately, friends, all we have time for today. This is what our party currently looks like. We can, of course, go up to now 51 troops, which is kind of cool. We'll be able to put together our clan once we find a suitable companion. I've been holding on to all these recruits to give them as manual laborers, because you get, I think it's 10 times the value. We can upgrade these Kanglis, though, into Tarkuds, which are, or Torkuds, which are just badass soldiers, man. If we have a look at their stats, this one has a bow of 70 and a riding of 70. Here we have a bow of 150 and riding of 110, more than doubling it. Plus, he comes with this sick glaive right there. That is going to be pretty cool. I will use 2 horses for the upgrade. Totally worth it. Anyway, guys, that is all we have time for today. I really hope you've enjoyed watching. I will be seeing you all in the next one, I hope. So please remember to like that like button if you liked it, to dislike that dislike button because YouTube doesn't like it either, and of course to hit subscribe. And as always, I will see you in the next one. Cheers.